If you are lazy, you will struggle. If you are easily irritated or you get thrown off by strong smells or sight of blood or whatever, feces, and if you're someone who struggles with taking instruction, like how can she talk to me like that, or who is she, does she know how many, do you know who I am, that really does not fly here. You feel insecure or you struggle with these things, really, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a series of problems. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tola. If you're new here or you're just joining us for the first time, you're more than welcome. Please consider subscribing and remember to click on that bell notification icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a new content, which is at least once every week. Here on this channel, I share content relating to my life here in the UK. I also talk about my job centered around healthcare. If you are interested in this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I also have a Telegram group where I have formed a small community of people who are looking to join the healthcare team and are looking to come into the UK. It's a great way to network and interact with people who are going through the same things as you are going to, and just support and encourage yourself through your journey. Today's video is about some of the things that I feel if you do not possess, you might struggle with this job, and it's just important to say, really. All right, so number one thing for you to know if you are made for this healthcare route is if you are lazy, you will struggle. This job is not for someone who can't be stressed. If you are a lazy person or you struggle to keep up with energy or momentum, you will definitely struggle. This job keeps you on your feet, keeps you at alert. It could be working with elderly people, it could be working with children, it could be working with mental health residents or patients. You need to be hardworking, you need to be on your feet, you need to be at alert, really. This job will keep you on your feet. So that is one thing. If you are a lazy person, you will struggle, really, you will struggle. Point number two, if you are easily irritated, you will struggle, especially if you work in healthcare where you have to provide personal care. If you are easily irritated or you get thrown off by strong smells or sight of blood or whatever, feces or, secretion, you will struggle. This job will shake you in that aspect, because you will be exposed to these things, and really there's hardly any aspect of care that you will not encounter one of all of these things. So it is something to prepare your mind with. If you are easily irritated or smells affect you, or the sight of flashing images or gory things like vomit, blood, poop, urine, things like this, you may not be able to avoid. So if these things throw you off, you might want to consider another career path. Point number three, if you lack patience. You see, so in one of my interviews, one of the questions I was asked was, what do you think is a strong quality to have if you want to become a HCA? And I said patience. And before I could even get the words out of my mouth, the interviewer was like, why is everybody saying patience today? Patience is like number one criteria you need, because you will be tested. Not just your stamina and your agility and all of that. Emotionally, you will be tested to the point where you might want to lash out. You will be tested. Not consciously, because from experience now, I can say that most of these residents or most of the things that happen are not intentionally done to irritate or throw you off. I really honestly believe that most of them are as a result of the illness or the disease that they might be going through. And some of them might get you to the point where you want to lash out, or you feel like you need to excuse yourself from the room. Yes, so you need a lot of restraint, you need a lot of patience, a lot of self-control, really, if you are to thrive in this job. Next point. If you can't take orders or can't take correction, or you struggle with taking instruction, you see, sometimes or most of the time, in my experience, the nurses are the ones who delegate the tasks for the shifts. All right. So when you get to work, after or during handover, you are allocated to where you're going to work. Or if you work with the agencies, you already know where you're going. And the person giving you instruction might be younger than you in age, or might be younger than you in experience, based on where you're coming from. Maybe you are already in the healthcare line, or you probably have some years of experience, and you're just breaking into the UK healthcare system. If you are someone who is naturally arrogant, you will struggle, because getting instructions, for some people, it seems to them as, they are being undermined, or some people just can't take instructions. Some people struggle with following orders. Some people struggle with following the set plans. Like, for each care home, there is a way they do things. From interacting with agency staff who have come to work in my care home, I noticed that there is a trend, or there's a way that certain things are done in certain homes. So not every routine or every task is done the same way in individual places. So if there is a structure on ground already, and you are instructed to do a certain task a certain way, and you feel like you can achieve this thing better going a different route, you might land yourself in some trouble, because there's a set way that they do things. And if you're someone who struggles with taking instruction, like, how can she talk to me like that? Or who is she? Does she know how many? Do you know who I am? That really does not fly here. So you just have to take instructions and be a good team player, because you work best when you are in a team. This work, you cannot do it alone. You see this next point. If you come to the UK alone, especially for those who come with dependents, or you come with children, I've gotten this question more times than I can count. Can I come to the UK as a single mother? My husband is not ready to come with us, or I have two children within the age of 10 to 2. How can I survive without a partner? From experience, it will be quite challenging to come to the UK without another adult, if you are to make maximum profit. Because even if you come to the UK and you choose to get a childminder, or get a babysitter, or just get a nursery or a daycare to keep your children for the number of hours that you will be working, you will need to pay minimum wage, at least minimum wage, to whoever is minding your child for that period of time. So if you are to work for 12 hours and pay someone minimum wage for maybe 6 hours out of those 12 hours, or maybe for the duration of those 12 hours, please calculate how much you take home at the end of the day. So in order for you to make maximum profit, you will definitely need either your partner, or your mother-in-law, or your own mother, someone you're used to, someone that can take care of your children. So you need another adult if you are to make maximum profits, really, because it would be a shame or a waste if you have children that you have to keep in the care of a childminder or a babysitter, and you have to pay this person per hour, because in this country, that is really how things work. If you are to get a childminder, you have to pay them minimum wage, and it's like you're working, and the number of hours you are earning, you are also paying someone by the hour to watch your children. So it might be challenging, really, but that's, I don't know, people in the same community come together to support each other. I've heard of these things. I also benefit from them, because I have a neighbor not too far away from me who we watch each other's children from time to time. But if you are planning to come here alone, and you do not know or have anybody, or don't know any Nigerian community, you need someone to watch your children if you are to come here with your children. Next point, if you are someone who is emotionally weak or unstable, or you have undulating emotions, if you are not emotionally strong, you will struggle, because I've said this in a number of my videos, this job is emotionally draining. You will come home, or even during your shift, because it's for a very long time. 12 hours is half a day, and it is a very long time. You might have an easy shift on some days, you might have a very difficult shift on some other days. So having a good support system is something that has really helped me, because as soon as I walk through my door, I mean, I don't want to talk about work. Don't ask me how my day was. I just want to leave everything that I've done and talk with the children before they go to school. I just want to forget everything that I've done in the past 12 hours and just face the house, because it is very emotionally draining and you need a very strong support system to be able to cope with that. So if you are someone who struggles emotionally, or you are easily affected by what you hear or how you're spoken to, or change of events, really, because it might not just be one thing, it might be a series of things that have now added up to something that now hits you or struck you, and you're like, it may know, it might be challenging if you struggle emotionally. So yes, you need a very strong support system. You need to grow emotional muscles in a manner of speaking, yes, if you are to thrive in this profession. Yes. So the next point is somewhat like the last one. If you are someone who has inferiority complex, or you feel insecure, or you struggle with these things, really, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a series of problems, because especially for the part of the country where I'm in, I stay in Darlington, and the number of Africans that we see here are not as much. I remember my first day here in Darlington, my husband made the same remark I was thinking in my head. He was telling me, how many black people have you seen, or how many Africans have you seen since we've stepped out of the house? And I'm like, really, I have struggled to count one. And that was when we moved in, I mean, in January. So, I mean, hearing some things that I said to you, it might not be an attack on your person, really. Because sometimes when I hear some arguments and I ask the person if it's from an African, and I ask the person what was said to you, and when I hear what was said, I'm like, is that all? To me, it doesn't make a difference, but to someone who might take it personally, it might come off to you as an attack on your person because you are a certain race. I don't know. But if you tend to see the racism in things, you might just find it in every single thing, whether or not it was intended that way. But you might need to just, deal with insecurity and inferiority complex. I do not believe that someone is better than me just because of their skin. So I don't look for all of that. So I do not see racism at all. I've had experiences of racism, don't get me wrong. That would be for another video. But I'm just saying that if you struggle with insecurities, you might pick up on some things that are really not there, even when it's just a normal conversation. So you might need to deal with that before you decide to go ahead with this job search. The last and final point is a healthy tip that I feel like will benefit all of us. And when I say all of us, myself included, because I'm struggling to catch up. This last point is, if you do not take supplements or eat fruits regularly, you are going to have a problem. If you're someone like me who wants to do the night shift, you need a lot of vitamins, especially vitamin C and vitamin D. The reason is because the vitamin D is necessary because you are going to be in bed or be asleep when the sun is up. So you're not really going to be getting that sun, and you really need all of these things. So you need to take supplements and boost your immunity as much as possible. Like, remember that you're also working with ill patients, and you need to protect yourself. and you also need to protect the people that you're caring for. So taking your supplements, drinking lots of fluids, water especially, it will help you a great deal. These are a few things that I feel like would help you boost your chances when it comes to your preparations for this job. If you struggle with any of these points, it's all right. I mean, we all learn every day. Some of these things I've had to deal with at some point, but it is doable. That is all I can say. It is doable. You can unlearn some of these things, even if it is something that you're currently struggling with. All right. So that is our time here for today's video. If you found this video helpful, please share it. Give it a huge thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one.